this has not really been Sony's week, and it's just starting. The situation that took place at the beginning of this week with some leaks from Spider-Man No Way Home have hurt Sony and also, of course, in a certain way, Marvel Studios too. The situation is as follows. Given that there was no indication of any release or anything announced for Spider-Man No Way Home, some leakers took it into their own hands to release something for the fans, and they had some images, some photographs of Willem Dafoe, for example, playing his Green Goblin role from the 2002 Spider-Man film by Sam Raimi, and there was also this other photograph allegedly depicting both Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire playing their respective Spider-Man characters, and they are in front of what appears to be a blue screen in a set, filming scenes together, allegedly for the film. There was also some leaked footage, and some of that footage, not all of it, appeared in the official Sony Pictures release of the trailer, which, funny enough, was released later in the day. Of course, they had no other recourse, things had already been leaked, they had to do something about it, and they released this trailer. Now, for everyone wondering what is going to happen in the film, I'm talking about the leak, this was a major event, something that they needed to confirm that there is in fact a multiverse, and that in fact the movie is going to deal with that, and we are going to see some other Spider-Man versions. That didn't happen in the trailer. We didn't see Andrew Garfield. We didn't see Tobey Maguire. We only saw Tom Holland. But what we did see, and that also confirms the existence of this multiverse, was this pumpkin bomb from the Green Goblin from the 2002 version of Spider-Man, and also the 2007 Green Goblin version. And we also saw Alfred Molina playing Dr. Octopus. This is confirming that there is a multiverse. We didn't see any Andrew Garfield, we didn't see any Tobey Maguire, so we don't really know if they're going to be part of the film, like a major part of the film, or if they are just going to have some cameos inside the story. But what the trailer did confirm to us is that this multiverse does exist. Now, when I watched the trailer, I thought that Doctor Strange, this pun is intended, was acting a little bit strange. He didn't really seem to be the same character that we saw in the previous MCU movies, and I thought, of course, they are once again writing characters, well, out of character. They are once again doing things that do not really go well with the iterations that we know, and they are just being contradictory in this once again. Why? Well, because that's what I saw, for instance, with Black Widow. So I thought, yeah, it's the same thing all over again. We don't have anything really that tells us this is the same character. It's just another character. They have contradicted themselves once again. And upon doing some research, I came across Geekosity magazine and Mikey Sutton, who is one of the best out there to bring these scoops that are quite on point, and they have always been accurate. And what I got from this scoop of his about the situation with Stephen Strange is that might not in fact be Doctor Strange. He's saying that this might be, wait for it, Mephisto. But he's saying, given that this movie has to be released in China, and also China is not really fond of demons and devils and all that, that might not be the case, and some parts of Mephisto's personality will be merged with another character called Nightmare. I don't know if this can be so accurate, because I also understand that Mephisto has already been teased. For instance, for WandaVision, many people thought that Mephisto was going to be involved, and that was not the case. I would have thought that maybe Blackheart could have been involved. I don't think that is the case. So it is the only solution, or the only possibility, this Nightmare I don't know. Yeah, Mikey Sutton says that it is. I think that he is quite on point because he very rarely misses the mark. What do we have right now? What can we say about that? Well, only that Kevin Feige is once again doing this, adapting and not really adapting those stories that were already told in the comic books. We saw this with Civil War, we saw this with the Infinity Gauntlet, we saw this with other stories, and now we're seeing that with One More Day, which is a very controversial take. That story arc was not very popular with many of Spider-Man's fans simply because it was Peter Parker making a deal with Mephisto, which also leads me to believe that this is not Mephisto, or if he is, it's not going to be revealed as such, and maybe it's just another character or another dimension, Stephen Strange, that is evil or some dumb crap like that. The thing here is that by having this, we have the excuse to start this multiverse. Sure enough, One More Day is controversial. However, I don't think that this is anything that should concern those Spider-Man fans that went through that horror in 2007-2008. Because I see here that this particular story arc is being adapted only and only to give way to the multiverse, and not for any other reason. We are not really going to have anything to worry about in that way, maybe only for the beginning of the story and also the end of this story. Also, what drives me to believe in Mikey Sutton, not only his record of accuracy, but also the fact that I saw in the trailer this scene where they are like in a sort of train or something in the middle of a desert, and then Doctor Strange uses some of that magic that he has to do the Inception setting on Peter Parker while he is in his Spider-Man costume, so he is sort of attacking him, giving way to the notion that this is a different character. It is not really Stephen Strange, but it's going to remain as him, maybe for the majority of the film or the entirety of it, and we're going to see at the end that this is a monster or Mephisto or something like that, so that China can get this also released in their territory. We don't know. I still need to see a little bit more information on that, but what I can tell you is that as a whole, it looks like an interesting movie. I would like to see a little bit more of both Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, even though I didn't like Andrew Garfield that much, because it would be a nice thing to see whether they are going to be or not inside the film, or they are just going to be cameos, and then only fan service. Also, I think that it's interesting, this idea of the multiverse, but if I'm being honest with you, seeing that this is once again Iron Kid all the time, because he gets blamed for the killing of Mysterio, and because they are his drones now that Tony Stark gave them to him and all that thing, it gets tiresome. I don't really want to see this lad playing Iron Kid, and it just doesn't feel like a Spider-Man film. It doesn't feel like this is the same character that we saw in other adaptations or the same character that we read in the comic books. And it's just my opinion. It's just my perception. I know. I am more interested in seeing the old Spider-Man actors playing the role again than seeing this new Spider-Man. And I know that it's only me, but it's something that I can't help. This is not that much of an interesting movie, and given that the film is going to be released on December the 17th, I hardly doubt that there will be any room for another trailer. Maybe this is the only thing that we're going to have. I have not seen any more promotions for it. I don't think that there's going to be any more. So I don't know how much faith both the MCU, Marvel Studios, and Sony have on this project. But that, of course, and as always, is only my opinion. So let me know yours down below in the comments, and until next time, peace out.